A cold sensation brought her to this moment. The loss of life was imminent, and she succumbed to her grave fate at the hands of her own party. However, her soul was still intact, and as it left her body, the frigid realization began to settle in that she was nowhere near where she thought she was. This was not heaven, nor was it hell, but a purgatory of emptiness that seemed to envelop her. Alone and confused, she looked about at the endless black nothingness that surrounded her. She wished to speak, yet no one could hear her. She actually wished to be back in the Nine Hells in this moment. As she surveyed her surroundings as best as she could, a dark, ominous laugh began to creep into the back of her mind.
Who's there? Where am I?
She began to demand from the spectral voice, but no answer came to her. Only a question came to light.
What is your purpose?
As the voice came from behind her, she quickly spun around to notice a gargantuan mountain of gears and metal, twisting and contorting in ways unimaginable and unthinkable. In between the broken metals were demon-eyed spiders that scurried at the sight of the closest mortal.
Spiders! Anything but spiders!
Sarah's arachnophobia getting the best of her at that moment, before she turned her attention to the top of the demonic peak that lay at her feet. At the top of this mountain was a figure looming down at her. A skeletal figure with a naked torso that seemed to have been ripped from the rest of its ghastly body, with a dark hood that covered the face, stretching down to the length of a cape that flowed majestically, even though there was no wind in the immediate area. The dark hood seemed to glow from within as a large demonic red eye began to glow, as the dark pupil of said iris focused in on her, chilling her body to the core. She felt frightened, as if she was in the presence of a god. As the dark figure watched her from above, their gaze seemed to pan over beside them, as the emergence of a large, ominous, and strangely seductive throne appeared beside the skeletal figure. However, the throne was faced away from the two figures engaged in this meeting. Only a voice could be heard from behind it.
Sarah, what a beautiful name. But what is a beautiful name if it has no purpose in this world to speak of? Correct.
The throne seemed to emanate towards her. The voice was inquisitive yet alluring, and it was also clearly feminine.
How do you know my name? Just who or what are you?
Sarah seemed to get increasingly concerned, yet tried to show an aura of empowerment. Given the fact that she was an entertainer, she was able to portray a front of being braver than she really was in that moment. The figure in the throne seemed to be able to see right through her facade, however.
You've been a woman of many faces and talents in your life, haven't you?
Stop dancing around the question. Just what the hell's going on here?
It's quite simple, my dear. You're dead.
What?
Your acquaintances. They cut you down in cold blood, and here you are now. Your soul has been ripped from your body. It would have began the travel down the river Styx, but I've been watching for a short while. So, I plucked it from the ether and have brought you here. There could be any number of things I could do with you now, but I will ask you again. What is your purpose?
As Sarah peered down in front of her, pondering the question, she had never been asked such a simple question before. Sarah's dreams were to be that of an aspiring entertainer, one that could use her voice to elevate her status to new heights that couldn't be reached through normal means. Her allure also seemed to help her get through certain tough situations, but she never considered any of these things to be her true purpose. She honestly didn't know what that was.
I don't know. I just want to survive. In a twisted world like this, that's all I can ever ask for.
As Sarah seemed to plead for her life to this unknown god before her, a long moment of silence seemed to fill the space around them, as Sarah awaited a response from this powerful being. The skeletal figure beside them seemed to hold their gaze on Sarah the entire time.
You remind me of myself, to be honest. But our paths are not the same. You have mortal wants and desires. I have transcended that. And I believe you may not be fit for a world that is as cruel as this.
The voice spoke out almost with a tone of pity towards Sarah and her situation.
However, I admire you, Sarah. I see something in you that makes you destined for something greater.
As the voice changed its tone, the skeletal figure seemed to move its gaze from Sarah back towards the throne in an instant. It seemed as though even this skeletal bodyguard was rather surprised at this response from its superior.
I've made my decision. Do not take this gift lightly. But I shall give you a second chance. Go and find the purpose that you so desperately seek, and gain this opportunity, where I had not done so. Sarah.
As the voice proclaimed its decision, a flash of light seemed to appear below her that engulfed her, setting her free of this purgatory. And as her spirit disappeared from this dark place, only the throne and the skeletal figure remained.
The half-elf sorcerer. Maybe she will give Sarah more of a second chance than that Asimar rogue.
Hey guys, it's Carter. If you're seeing this video, then I'm putting this at the end of the new video that I've just made. As you can see, I've been kind of busy with this little video that you just saw. So a little explanation. The whole reason of this video is kind of a test to see if this kind of video can work. The whole thing, it's a little short story that I wrote, and the short story is based around a few characters in the D&D games that I've been running for my group of friends. I've made a number of these. This is the shortest one, and this is the probably most basic one I was considering to use as like the test run for this kind of series. And what I've been trying to make, a lot in secret. I've been doing this in the past couple weeks. I think the only person I told was like one other person besides the lovely voice actress that I asked to help me with this video. But what this is essentially, it's kind of like a series of audio book cross visual novel style videos, like stories. It uses a bunch of different you probably hear my dog in the background. It uses a bunch of different sort of things that I like. What I mean by that is like all my different kind of hobbies I've kind of incorporated into this kind of video one way or another, whether that be making videos, drawing, making stories, like writing stories, a number of these kinds of things. So that's what this is all kind of encompassing, and I kind of wanted to put this at the end of the video to kind of see if anybody would want to see any sort of videos that are just like this, like with the other stories that I've made with voice acting and little cool images here and there, then you just let me know in the comments. There's a couple people I need to thank, of course, because this has never been a one-man show, despite the fact that it is a solo channel. First off, I want to thank my friends, my D&D group that I run with. Without the decisions they've made in the story and with their input on the story itself, I don't think I would have ever been able to make a video like this, or at least get it to this point. I also would like to thank, hugely would like to thank, without her help in this, none of this would be possible. Her stage name, she wants me to use her stage name for this, is Mama Mimo VA. She is a lovely, lovely voice actress that I found on YouTube. I found her demo reel and I contacted her with the ideas that I had. It was a very simple process. She got back to me very quickly. She's a very lovely person. Go check out some of her stuff. I'm going to leave a link in the description or show you like the channel. I'm going to make it so that you can see some of her stuff somewhere here in the video, because she was a delight to work with and her clips were amazing. I absolutely loved it. And yeah, I want to also thank just anybody for kind of supporting me, just making videos, doing what I love to do. I just want to thank you guys. So let me know if you want to see more of these kinds of videos. I want to turn them into kind of like a series. So if a lot of people would like to see them and more people want to do them, then, or more people want to help me kind of put some of these together, then I would be very much would love to work with people on this, because I have about like 4 other stories that I've written out and kind of planned for that I really want to start getting into the rhythm of starting to make in this same kind of style that you just saw here. So anyway guys, that's been me, Carter, and I'll see you guys next time.